Hello all and welcome to my YouTube channel Barossa Valley Crafts. One thing I get asked a lot when people join my Barossa Valley Crafts group is, what do you need to start with? What equipment is most used? What glues do I use? What do I need? So look, here's a really quick idea on some of the things that you could use or need or want to create cards. There is a lot of different things, but let's start with some very basics. Rulers. Rulers are always very handy. Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, to go with the ruler, you need a stylus, which is, it's like a little metal thing with a ball on the end. So when you need to score cards, you use the ball end to create score lines to make folding easier. So rulers, stylus, and you can get all different sized balls, so depending on what you want to do would depend on the size that you want to get. Scissors, you can never have enough scissors. I have got so many and all different sizes. These ones are ideal for fussy cutting with, they're really good. A pokey tool, so when you're doing die cutting, often you've got to poke your little cutouts out of the metal die, so that's what this is for poking things out of the die with. Tweezers, really great for when you're doing fine work. Glues, so various glues do various things, so it depends on how quick you work. Some people need a glue that's slower drying, so they've got a bit of wiggle space to get something in line. Some people prefer quick drying glue that once it's on the paper, you've got very, very little time to move it. So, but the ones that I mainly use are the Art Glitter Glue. This one dries clear. The 450 glue. This is the one that I use when I need a lot of wiggle space to get something in line. It's the glue you love to hate. It's a glue I wouldn't be without, but I hate using it, but gee, it's good. So it's often when you use it, it strings and you get little stringy bits, but I love this glue. Turbo Tacky Glue. Now, what I like about this is it gets stored on its lid. So you can just take it out and it's ready to use. You don't have a lot of wiggle space with this one, but it is a great glue. So let's then move on to stamping. So you can use stamp blocks. So these are acrylic blocks. They come in a variety of sizes and shapes. And you put your stamps on them, ink them up, and then stamp them. They are great, but my go-to is this. So this is a stamp press. So actually I'll show you quickly. Let me find a little bit of paper to show you the advantages of having a stamp press. So when you buy this particular one, it only comes with 2 magnets, but I've actually got 2 of them because my daughter gave me hers, and so I've got 4 magnets on mine. So with your stamp, you just pop it on the card where you'd like. It picks up on your stamp press, ink it up. Now, I'm intentionally not going to do this properly, and you stamp it. Oh, look at that, it didn't work properly. Now, the beauty of this, because nothing has moved, you can re-ink it, and it will re-stamp in exactly the same spot. So I was very iffy about stamping when I first started card making, because forever I was not getting the stamped image properly. Then once I was introduced to this, I love stamping now, and I use stamps a lot. So there you go. I've actually missed putting some ink on a part of that. So we'll go again. There you go. Oh no, maybe it's a faulty stamp. Well, there might be something on it. Let's try again. So this is ideal. Actually, it's showing you exactly what it can do. There we go. So that's a stamp press. Okay, that out of the way. Inks. When you're stamping, my go-to for stamping is the VersaFine Clear. These are great because they give a nice, good, clear, crisp image. I use distress oxides if I want to blend inks together. So they're the main ones that I use for stamping. Now, a cutting and scoreboard. So this, I don't know if these are easy to still get these days, but I bought this one that does cutting and scoring. So you can then, so you line up, it's got inches on one side and centimetres and millimetres on the other side. So you line up, just so you want a piece of cardstock that's 10 inches. So you do that, and there's your 10 inches, and then if you need to score it at 5 inches, you just run, this will come with it, you run your bone folder down there, and then that will give you your score line to fold the card. So that's a cutting and scoring board. So you can buy them separately, and you can buy various sizes of the same thing. So that's one that I use just about every day without fail. Tapes. Double-sided tape is always a must-have. This is what they call suicide tape. Once it's on your paper, it's stuck. You cannot lift it off. It'll just tear your paper. It's brilliant. You can get other stuff, like it's just got the white backing on it instead of the red. And yeah, they're both great, but this is really strong. And foam tape. So if you want to add dimension and put layers on your cards, so the foam tape, this one's a strip and these are little squares. You can get them different sizes. But you can see it's got a little bit of dimension so that when you put them on, you can just make layers of different heights. So that's foam, double-sided foam tape. Papers. Well, you can never have enough papers and cardstock. So look around, just a lot of, no, not a lot, but a lot, some of what I get is just from like, well, they're all different names in different parts of the world. We have Cheapest Chips. There's a place called Ship Loads, which I think is in Tassie. It's all different places and you can buy papers. So these are just great for backgrounds, and then from there you can build up and decorate them to however you like. So I've got lots of those. They come in different sizes. This is a brilliant one. I love Lavinia. I use a lot of Lavinia stamps, and they do this, which is like an alcohol ink, almost like background. And these are great papers to have as backgrounds on cards. Saves a lot of work, and if you don't have all the alcohol inks and brushos and all that sort of stuff, buying papers to do your backgrounds is an easy, great way. I've also got some that have got lots of florals on them, and then that way, so some of them have got things like this where you can cut out all these little sentiments and put them into layers on your cards. Flowers, you can fussy cut flowers out and stick them onto cards, or scrapbooking even. It doesn't have to just be cards. You can cut out the flowers, all sorts. So really you're only limited by your imagination. See, this would be nice. Cut all that out and pop that onto a card. Here's another good one. It's got nice big flowers on it. Here's another. So you get also cut apart sheets. So where you could cut these out and use them on various things. And quite often there's a second side that can be used to these as well. Not all of them, but a lot of them are double-sided. Cardstock. You always need cardstock. You can get 12 by 12s. You can get A4 size. You can buy packets of pre-made cards so you can get the size that you like. More papers. So these ones are great. Especially like the backgrounds on some of these. Oh, look at that. You cut him out and put him on a card. Tickets. Amazing backgrounds. It's just a matter of looking in the shops in your craft shops. I don't know if craft shops sell so much of these. I think most of my paper pads like these, I get them from in Australia, called a shop called Spotlight. And quite often they have specials, and I'll just grab whatever I can if I've got the money at the time. But yeah, so papers, any sort of papers. Then we're going to go on to the bigger stuff, a die cutting machine. Now there's a lot of different brands, makes, sizes of die cutting machines. Easy to use, and hang on, I'll just get this out and I'll just show you. I'll just get a bit of paper. I don't need the whole thing, so I'm just going to tear it off a bit. Normally you use cardstock or something when you're doing this. You don't have to use just paper. You can use normal cardstock. So you've got a plate on the bottom, your base plate, one cutting plate and another cutting plate. Again, different machines have different orders that you use them in. And just run that through. You don't normally have to do it 2 times, but I often do just to be sure that it's cut out. And there's your cutout. So they're die cutting machines. So this one's a Sizzix. I also have an electric one as well by Couture Creations, and I use that so much. I have a lot of trouble with my shoulder, and I was really struggling turning the machine when I was making a lot of kits to sell. So I ended up buying the electric one, and it made it a lot easier. Stamps and dies. So you can always get stamps and dies, various sizes, different things. You can get them stamp and die sets. You can get just dies. So again, it's a matter of just looking around, and sometimes go to garage sales. You might be able to pick up a thing or two at those. But other than that, I mean, really, that's the basics. And from those, you're only limited by your imagination on things that you can create. You might cut things out differently and put them on the card in different positions. Using your foam tape, layer them so you've got dimension. It's just experiment and have fun. It's only paper, and you can always start again. Anyway, hopefully that helps some of the ones that are very new to card making in what to have, what to get, what you need, what you want and what you need are 2 different things. It's like there's 2 different sorts of crafting. There's a craft collector and a craft user. I'm both. I buy a lot of stuff and I store. So I'm a big collector of craft equipment, but I do use it as well. Anyway, hopefully that helps you, and if you've liked this, please click on like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and please feel free to join us on the Barossa Valley Crafts Facebook page, or Card Making for Beginners and Beyond as well is another one that I have. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for joining me. Bye.